So tell me a little bit about what's happening on the golf course.
Really inconsistent.
Yep.
I do a good shot and then I do 2 or 3 bad ones quite often.
Right.
It's not often I do a load of good shots in one round.
Okay.
But my bad miss is low to the right.
Low to the right. And your strike, what's your strike generally like?
It's, as I say, it's just really inconsistent.
Yep. So we're going to get back to Damien's lesson in a second, but it was an hour lesson. I know you haven't got an hour to watch the whole live lesson, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back to watch the part that made the biggest difference to his ball striking. So you can see here Damien massively inconsistent. The reason being, like a lot of players who struggle with ball striking, Damien's a beginner golfer. This is actually his first lesson. And ultimately what he was doing is this. If you want to strike a ball well, you've got to strike the ball, then the ground, right? But to do that, you don't want to be doing this. You don't want to be releasing that club early, and you don't want to be kind of buckling these arms for impact here, because you lose the consistency of the arc. The golf swing is a circle, and if these arms are starting to buckle like this, the circle moves up and down, is going to massively affect your ball striking, but also it affects the release of this golf club. You can release it too early, thus losing strike and distance. What I want to do now is I want to share with you the drill that I gave Damien, which was an absolute game changer for him. Now you're going to see the first part of this lesson where all we did was want to improve his strike, to get this circle hitting the ball, then the ground, and stop all these duff sapping behind the golf ball. So that's what I'm going to jump in first, and then towards the end of the lesson, we'll show you how we then ramp up that distance. So you said to me, I want a drill, something that's going to help me, right? So this is the drill. Take your weight, your pelvis, and move it over onto your left heel, along with your left, but don't move your head.
Okay.
So your head stays in the middle of your stance. Perfect.
Okay.
Right? Now what I want to do is this, okay? I want you to notice your eyes, right? They're at this level, right? Then what we're going to do is this. I want you to now swing through, keeping your eyes angled, like you're going to pour water out of your right ear onto the ground.
Okay.
Keep swinging to there. Done. What do you notice easily about your arms now?
They're still in that same shape.
They're still in the same shape because you've pivoted around your spine here. Where's your hips starting to point now? Towards the target, right?
Yeah.
So what you're going to do now is this, right? Where do you feel your weight is now?
My weight is probably more forward.
Forward, right? Now what we're going to do is something like, we're going to tuck the hips. We're going to tuck those hips underneath, right? And we're going to keep that head tilted down towards the ground. There you go. This is important. That's going to help you look up there, look. Now pause there. Hold that place for a second. Just there.
Yeah.
Relax. Right. Got that?
Yep.
That is where we're moving to.
See, I've never done that before.
No. Now watch this. I'm going to move you back now to the start. Right? Now put your weight over the middle of that pelvis, over your lead heel, but keep your head, there you go, handle forward. Now, pour water out of your right ear as you come through. Hold that place. Don't move. How easy it is to keep the arms straight?
A lot easier.
A lot easier, isn't it? Because your body's turning, so the arms don't need to bend anymore. You follow?
Yeah.
The shoulders are moving, so your arms don't have to bend.
Yeah.
The problem is, if you're trying to return to here, your body stalls. You've only got your arms, so they have to crumple.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that does make sense.
So that's, by the way, that is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
That's all we're going to do. So you've now got a drill of an idea of, oh, this is my destination, right? I've got to get to that destination somehow.
Yeah.
So what you could do is just to start with, the drill is this. Push your weight forward, pour water out of your right ear.
See, I've never shifted my weight like that at the start.
No.
Do you do that? Is that to start my swing every time?
No. This is
a drill.
This is a drill. So it's a really good point to make, right? It's a great place to start and give you a drill. I think when your body knows where it needs to get to, I often imagine it like hammering a nail into a piece of wood.
Yeah.
Knowing the nail has to go in that direction, it informs your body. And even if, let's say somebody had an injury, right, and their arm was like this, it wouldn't matter. They would know that that's the nail's got to go in that direction. Yeah. So that everyone's got maybe different motions, but because we know the direction we're going on, everything follows from there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Whereas now it says, oh, okay, this is where we're going. And what you're doing is you're following the circle with your body, and you're finishing there. You're pouring water out of your trail ear like this. You'll see any top player, they're always angled towards the ground. And you go, okay, I just need to, and then eventually when we move back to normal, you now know, oh, and this is where I'm going towards.
Yeah.
You follow?
I do.
So, pelvis over, that's it, pour water out of your right ear, Extend, feel like you're tugging those hips underneath a little bit there. There you go. Hold it there. Beautiful. Got it?
Yeah, so I've not done that position before.
No. So do a couple of, so one rehearsal, right? So you go one rehearsal. Handle,
As the drill?
As the drill. You do one rehearsal. All on, pause it, keep the handle forward. There you go. Notice notice when you do this. Notice.
I see, that's actually put the centre of my circle naturally there, hasn't it?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It has, hasn't it?
So shall I hit one?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. However you want to do it. There's no right or wrong here.
That feels so surreal.
Yep. It might feel surreal, but what do you notice now?
Oh, wow.
About the low point.
Wow.
0.5 inches after the ball.
Wow.
And you just chipped it. So this is, by the way, this is the start of how you make solid contact.
Yeah, I mean, I barely swung that either.
I know. Yeah. Better. There you go.
God,
Now
that really feels like it's going right.
Yep, I know. So you can see here your sensations there. Look at the low point now, look. 3.9 inches after the golf ball. Right? So we're starting to find ways to make solid contact.
Yeah.
Right? The best players in the world are around about 4 inches, right? So this is a starting point, right? Let the drill give you the information, not you stood over the golf ball, one after the other, giving yourself instructions.
Okay.
That's what drills are purely for, right?
Would that be a good idea when I'm next playing, just to do that as a practice swing?
Yeah. If you hear yourself talking to yourself, do this, do this, do this, I think that's where people go wrong.
Yeah.
You know, for now, we need a drill. We need the drills to teach us our own sensations, right? So the feelings that you get from that drill are going to be different to what I get from the drill, right? So once we've got the drill, the arms are nice and straight, and we're pivoting, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Go. In fact, don't even analyze it. Don't even rationalize it. Don't even put words to it. Just allow your body to go, yes, set it up. Is my pelvis over there? Yeah. Is my head in the middle? Yes.
And then just do it.
Am I, when I'm pivoting through, I'm stopping here, my arms nice and soft but fairly straight, I'm pouring water, I'm right here. These are checkpoints.
Yes.
Yeah? Make sense? They're only checkpoints. Then you go back, and you go.
Just do it.
But you don't overthink that. My God, that sounded different.
Yeah.
That sounded so different. Look at that. Look how dead straight it is.
Yeah.
Look at that strike now.
Wow.
And we said we wanted consistency, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right? So golf is no magic fix. There's a stage and a process that we take golfers through, right? It's your first lesson, right?
Yeah.
We take a golfer through a process of making solid contact consistently, time and time again. We teach them how they start achieving that.
Yeah.
Then we work on the next stage, distance. Yeah, add some power to that.
That one's only drawn back to here.
Yeah, well, it feels like, doesn't it? Yeah. And look at the difference.
No.
Yeah. So this is the starting point.
Yeah.
Right. This is where every golfer should start if you want to be consistent at golf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God! What a sound! What a sound! There you go.
God.
What a sound! 4.6 inches after the golf ball. Now you've carried it over 100 yards comfortably. We're getting there.
Yeah. Wow.
Well done. Good.
Great advice.
Good. Listen to that. You can hear it, can't you?
Yeah.
Look at that now. Dead straight. So as you can see, Damien now has the first building block in place. He's starting to make solid contact and got some consistency there. But how do we increase his distance without losing that? Well, you do it in gentle stages. So what we did is he started off with like almost 90% of his weight on his lead side. What you're going to see in a second is I'm going to move that to about 70%. Then what we're going to do is that gives him a bit of scope now. He knows his destination he needs to get to. He now can move into that destination with a bit of snap. So it's not just as we've been doing like this, smoothly going through. He's now got a bit of snap. That's all we're focusing on. You're going to see in a second me give him a little routine that he can do on a golf course to make this work and transfer. You're going to love it, I think.
What would you, so if I play a game in the next week, what would you do? What would I do then?
Right. You can't think of loads on a golf course.
Yeah.
So I might go one drill, and off I go.
Yeah.
And what you're doing in reality is you're hoping over time, a little bit like riding a bike, you can't explain how you've learnt balance.
Yes.
But because you've done enough of it, eventually your body gets it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens on the golf course. Whereas unfortunately what golfers do is they go, I've got to do this. Danny says I've got to get right here. I've got to get this. That you've done.
Yeah.
You start thinking like that.
Yeah.
No, you go, I'm going to start not 90, I'm going to start 70. I'm going to do one of those drills. Because that's not that drill.
No, yeah.
So already, that's a different place.
Yeah.
I know my destination, hold that finish, right? I know this shot won't be perfect, but do you know what? I'm going to make my best effort.
And then on a 50-50 when I take my shot.
No, I wouldn't go 50-50. I would stay 70. 70 is still okay.
Okay.
I'd definitely still favour your left side.
And then just hit it a bit shorter, but gradually build that up.
I think you'll be surprised.
Okay.
I think you'd be surprised at how far you hit it.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, I would rather you come back saying, do you know what, Danny? I was a little bit shorter, but do you know what? Those duffs that I was getting, I'm not getting them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a dream.
Yeah. All right. So it's just 70 this time, just a bit 70. Head in the middle, stand still. Rehearse. Feel it. That's it. And away you go. And watch this. This distance will be greater. There you go.
Wow.
127. And remember, it doesn't have to be stiff or anything, but increase, you've got those forces. If we increase that speed, you're going to have some strength to bang and stop it, yeah?
Can I do one more practice?
Yeah, of course you can. Bang. There you go.
Okay.
Good hit into there. Good hit. There you go. Look at the difference.
Oh, wow.
137 yards.
Dead straight as well.
Dead straight.
Wow.
137 yards, dead straight, bottom of the swing after the golf ball. So I really hope you enjoyed that lesson. If you did, give it a thumbs up and maybe share it with a friend of yours or maybe a beginner golfer that you know who's at the same stage as Damien, just wanting to improve the consistency of their ball striking. If you've got that contact down and you want to add some more distance, click this video out right here. If you're new to the channel, press the subscribe button down here. And if you'd like to receive personalized lessons from myself, head on over to dannymore.com. All details in the description box below with the free practice plan. But until next week, have a great golfing week.